Is Kevon Looney available, and will the Pelicans go after him if he's made available? Let's talk about it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented to you by Chris Smith Realty. Make sure you give him a call at chrissmithhomes.com. Also, Crystal Hot Sauce and Company We're located at 4600 Ferret Street. Got Chris, got Lido tonight. Strictly talking about Kevon Looney. So there was a report today, Chris. We'll start with you. There's a report today saying that the Warriors might be looking into releasing Kevon Looney this year or this offseason to save money on their tax bill. Kevon Looney is owed $8 million, but only 3 of it is guaranteed. So if he was to be let go, he'd be guaranteed $3 million and be a free agent. Obviously, a lot of teams would be interested in him. But Chris, this team, and we talked about this last night, currently doesn't have a center on the roster. If they draft a center in the draft, I don't think he's a day one starter. We talked about even if it is Zach Edey. I mean, it could be. Edey could be a starter, but I don't think you're going to get him at 21.
Right.
Would Kevon Looney be a good target for this team?
Well, the evident answer is when you don't have a center, yeah. But when you don't have a center, how could you say no to a center? But I look at it like this, man. I mean, you're talking about someone who the financials of it, I think would be interesting. Just because of how weak the market is, and you got a guy who has played a role for multiple years now. Still, I think he's only 27 years old.
He's
and when he's given minutes, but he's pretty productive. He stayed relatively healthy as of late. He's a 3-time champion, so he's been in situations. He's come from a winning organization. He's been he knows what it's like to have his minutes cut. He's been benched. He's seen it all. And I think we've talked a lot about this team, this roster, this organization needing more structure, more know-how. You throw in the Willie Green, connection from a few years back when Willie was in Golden State. There's something I think there. And look, I mean, he fits, I think, what this team would ultimately probably needs to go for going forward. A low-budget center that's going to do the dirty work, not really ask for the ball, make the right pass, and when given the basketball, to give you 5 or 6 points, grab a bunch of rebounds, and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lido, he's to Chris's point, he's the guy likes the dirty, does a lot of the dirty work, sets hard screens, rebounds, high IQ guy. He's still relatively young. Chris, it's funny you mentioned that. I went to go look at just some stuff about Kevon Looney, 28 years old, out of UCLA, 2015, pick number 30. Leo, real quick, what do you like about Looney? And then obviously we'll talk about fit, but real quick, like obviously you like championship pedigree, high IQ guy, but I know you're a big screen guy. You like guys that can set screens. JV really wasn't a great screen setter. We talk about the guys in the draft, like not too many really good screen setters. Talk about Looney for a little bit here and what he could possibly bring to the Pelicans.
The thing about his screens is he had good guard play. Normally, bigs run into trouble when the guard moves too quickly before they can actually establish the screen. With him, obviously he had Steph. He had Draymond. He was setting screens for who's not a guard, but Draymond just a smart player. So if you have a very high IQ guy in Kevon Looney, like he picks up on good habits and good tendencies in the championship organization, those are the things you would want to bring over to your organization. It's a lot to like about him, right? I'm going to say this. Y'all better be goddamn lucky Kevon Looney hurt his hip. Because KD Jr., Chris, I was going to do it. KD Jr. was going to be a problem for you.
Can you please explain this? Because there's a lot of people I'm sure have not seen these clips.
If y'all never seen Kevon Looney high school, if y'all never seen him in high school, y'all better smarten up and realize who Kevon Looney is. Like this act he's putting on right now is a result of injury and the need to retain a paycheck. That boy used to give people buckets in a variety of ways. He was nice. He could dribble. He could shoot the ball. He got hurt. I think it was his hip. He had surgery on his hip, I believe, and he was just never the same again. Let me say this, but in how this will relate for the Pelicans, he's a great screener, and not only is he a great screener, he's a great interior passer. He's a guy.
Very good.
No.
He's a guy who can be a connector from the 4/5 position for the Pelicans. He always knows the next play, the next pass. He knows where guys are on the floor. And that's what happened when you play with those type of guys that he's played with. You got to know how everybody else is for that type of system to work. Kevon Looney is also, I don't know if y'all remember this, dog. He had a reduction in minutes this year. Last year though, dog, specifically the playoffs, he had like three 20 rebound games. He was in that series against Sacramento, he had a 9 assist game, a 7 assist game, a 6. Like he was doing everything. And then they played the Lakers, and he had 2 more 20-20 games. Not 20-20, but two 20 rebound games, along with he just a solid defender. He defends really well also without fouling.
In those 13 games, Leo, you're talking about in the 2022-2023 playoffs, he averaged 13.1 rebounds in 13 games played in 25 minutes.
Yep.
I don't have the game stats in front of me here.
I got you. What you need?
I would like to say, I would like to hear some of his individual performances from that year, because Looney, Chris, he's not going to be a guy that gives you 30-35 minutes a night, but he's going to give you he's a guy to give you 20 minutes a night. He's a high IQ player. He knows how to get people open. Steph Curry talks about him a lot. I'm going to play a clip for y'all here soon about how, Steph Curry kind of praises Kevon Looney, and he's a guy that just understands his role. If he needs to play 30 minutes a night, he'll play 30. If he needs to come off the bench and play 10, he'll play 10. As we mentioned, obviously an IQ guy, but what do you like the fit, Chris, with Looney, Zion? Does he fit with the Pelicans?
So a non-shooting center that in some cases gets I guess dares Steve. Well, when he was in Golden State, there were periods where opponents would dare Steve Kerr to keep Looney on the floor. So that's how you saw more of the Davis son, Trace. I'm forgetting his other name, but Trace Jackson Davis, a little bit more athletic. In previous years, they tried. I know Dario. No, it wasn't Dario Saric necessarily, but it was Valencia, and they've tried other interior guys over. And I'm speaking specifically over the past 2 years, because you can go even back further than that since Looney's been in Golden State and other guys that he's shared time with. But he wouldn't be a starting center. And I think I don't think that with the way that Willie Green kind of played Jonas Valanciunas, Looney would fit right in. I mean, 20 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game. Yeah. I mean, he would be perfect. Except now we wouldn't be having conversations about, you need to feed Looney the ball. You need to, right. He has a guard on him. Why you're not featuring him? I mean, you'd be having different conversations, because the way that he will be used will be totally different. And on top of that, hopefully at that point, even if they did make a move like that, one of the problems that's affected the Pelicans over the past few years is that they haven't had that third guy, that third center. They may have had to change the pace, but the third center is Billy Hernangomez or it's Cody Zeller. Right. They need to find another real option. No matter who the starting center is, they need another real option that when guys get hurt, when things happen, they can throw out there. They can impact the game differently from whoever Looney, whoever the starting center is going to be.
You bring up a good point, Chris, because Lito goes back to our draft. Some of the centers we've talked about and done some video breakdowns coming this upcoming draft. But if you get Looney, and who knows, if he's going to be released, if not, whatever. But just say you do get Looney. I also think this like gives you a road now to where you can draft a rookie, and as Chris is saying, maybe be a productive center off the bench, not where a guy you have to pencil, a rookie have to pencil him 25 to 28 minutes a night. Maybe he can grow behind a guy like Kevon Looney, where Looney can kind of teach him, kind of like a Derek Lively situation this year. It's where he can affect the game, give you a change of pace. Like I really think of Khalil Ware. Now I just think about like if Khalil Ware could sit behind a guy like Kevon Looney and learn from him, like that would make sense to me. But I don't know how realistic this is. I wanted to talk about the defensive side of things, right? Lito's like, we know Willie Green wants to switch 1 through 5. We know why JV didn't play a lot because he couldn't, keep guards in front, a lot of breakdowns. Do you think Kevon Looney still has because you remember during this Warriors runs, man, like the reason why they were so productive defensively is because he could switch onto a guard and hold that guard at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he can still do that at 28, 29 years old?
I think it depends on who's on the team, like who he's surrounded with. I mean, if you're asking him to do it more than 3 seconds, like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you let Justin get away with some egregious shit just now, and I didn't say anything. So don't even.
Hard. Yeah, just
Listen, man. If you asking him to guard a guard on the perimeter for more than 3 seconds, like, yeah, you're dead. But I think it depends on who he's surrounded with, and I think that, like, if we've been honest, if you ask any center to guard a guard for more than 3 seconds,
it's really tough.
You know what I'm saying? They did.
But
go ahead.
I mean, look, one of the benefits though is that you have one of the best defensive communicators and off-ball defensive players. I mean, arguably one of the better defensive players of all time in Draymond Green to share that time with. And one of the things that they could benefit to at any time they wanted to was to go small and have Draymond be, your 5. I don't think that I think he'll run into similar issues that, kind of played him off the floor sometimes when he was in Golden State. But you shouldn't be bringing in Looney and expecting him to be a savior, right?
Right. This needs to be you're right, Chris. This needs to be like a 2020s, like maybe even Cappy. He just needs to start. You just need a starting center at this point. Like you need a viable starting center. And if Looney is available, you gotta make a move, or because there are no, like, who are your options this offseason? Like,
Goga Batatse. Hey, listen. Listen.
No, I'm laughing.
Go watch that show, y'all.
Dead serious. Look, I'm gonna bypass this year because, like I said, it's a reduction in minutes, man. But if you go back to the 2023 season, he was like a plus 24 in that starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a good player. Let me
He also, Justin, Chris, I don't know.
Don't do this, Lito. Don't do this because look, the problem is when you say that, right? When you throw out numbers like that,
yeah,
there are, how many positive plus minus or positive net rating darlings that the Pelicans have had over the past couple of years. That if I brought their names to the forefront, you would roll your eyes at.
I'm just saying they ain't been better than him.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying because I could throw out, because I know Larry Nance is a net rating darling. You want Larry Nance to
I'm talking about like a player on a championship team who's actually good. Like,
okay, all right. So you're talking about right, so there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Nah, we're not playing Call of Duty. No. I do want to say this. I don't know if y'all had a chance to catch him on Draymond's podcast.
I haven't yet.
Who?
Looney. He went on today, right? Or yesterday?
Yeah, it dropped today. So, man, he had some great basketball insight, and he had like really smart commentary. He was talking about the finals, and he was like, based on Dallas' style of play and how they match up against Boston, it's going to be difficult for them to win how they play, right? And it's what team changes their style of play in the finals, right? You just don't do that. But the thing that I thought was really intelligent and really impressive was he said if it was me, if I was J. Kidd, I would post Luka up. I would start the possession with him in the post rather than trying to
Him getting double
get
team.
2-3 guys. And I'm like,
it's actually really smart.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what I said.
doubling
the
from
defense is
post
coming to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what he said. He
And
said
when you're on top of the key and you trap, you have time to rotate and
because he said because basically everybody's first game 1 assist. He was like, that's how you increase his assist percentage, because the role players, if they not getting good looks, if they not scoring easy baskets in the fourth, they never technically go get involved in the game. And I'm like, damn, dog,
You think Willie Green will listen to
he would have to. Absolutely.
No,
you
not
listen to it. You listen to it. 2-time NBA champion.
He coached him.
3-time? Is he 3?
He coached him.
You listen to it. Like here, I want to play this clip. We got like 5 or 6 more minutes. I want to play this clip. What Steph Curry said about Kevon Looney in December of this year.
Whether it's a regular season game or the playoff runs we've had, one, it's his availability, and he's always preparing himself to be out there and play physical and give us that presence in the paint. But it gives us possessions. He's a smart basketball player that understands how to move the ball, how to set great screens, and the way our offense runs. Even if he's not the one finishing, he can set up other guys too. Whether he had threw a nice lob to JK, some DHO stuff to the guards, and the timing was great. So don't anybody take for granted what Loon does. That might, if you know basketball, those little things in the margins really help you win on a consistent basis.
It's all about the margins.
Steph Curry.
It's all about the margins.
He would probably be your highest IQ player if you signed him on the team. Well, Herb's up there.
Ooh.
At least.
Look, I'm a
I can't believe we're talking about Kevon Looney, but here we are.
Well,
we don't have a center on the roster, bro. Like, it's crazy that we don't have a center on the roster.
But he's the kind of guy that I think fits everything that would make the organization happy. The organization can talk about what he brings as a person, what he brings as a winner, what he brings, the championship pedigree. He'll be if the Pelicans are able to sign him, it's obviously going to be contract friendly. And again, he's coming in to play 20 minutes, 15, he'll have some nice way to he's 25 or 30 minutes, but it would, I think, all be clear about what his role would be on this team. But, I just wonder, a guy like that, what is he worth to maybe a younger team, a team even younger younger than New Orleans? Like, does he get into a situation where a team is really able to pay him based off of what he's done, what he's been a part of, and what they think he can bring to the locker room alone? I mean, we see it all the time with some of these guys that lead these franchises. Yeah. Somebody goes out and pays them more than maybe the market would just off of name and the team that they left alone.
No, it's a good point. Like, Chris, I want to ask you this. Do you think he would even sign with a team like the Pelicans? Do you think, okay, they're going to offer me a starting position, or do you think he'd rather be in a role where, like, I'll be a backup big, but I want to be on, I'm just throwing out, I want to be like on a Philly or a Boston or a Denver or, a bona fide championship contending team?
You would have to offer him a starting position. There's no way he comes to New Orleans to be a backup. Why would he?
No, and I agree with you, but what's more important, starting or being on a bona fide championship team?
He got 3 rings already.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well, he trying to get 7. You trying to be Robert Horry? I mean, no. I mean, I think at this point it should be for him solidifying a nice deal, if that's out there, and if that's not available, then a starting role to continue to kind of feature himself and put himself in another situation to get a the next deal, whatever it is. Because I'm sure wherever he signs, it's not going to be a long-term deal. You're probably looking at a 2-year deal or 1-year deal. I don't think it's going to be anything past that. So,
I would think it'd have to be a 1-year deal. It would have to be. You can't sign him to a 2-year deal. But it's gonna be cheap, man. It'd be what, 4 or 5 mil?
That's what I'm saying. And he's 28 years old. Like,
and he's reliable,
thing, bro. Like, that's another thing that's crazy. He's 28. It's not like this dude's 36. Like
he's reliable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be great for a rookie, man. He would be great for a rookie. This is what you got to do.
A smart guy sometime last year, he was pondering the internet, watching Golden State, and he said this. Yeah.
Did you get your answers?
Shit, when I saw the multiple 20 rebound games, I was like, yeah, like I knew what time it was. Like I'm watching.
Hey, Jonas ever have any 20 rebound games?
Had to have.
He did. How many? I don't know.
Well, no, I just want to know if he had any.
Hold on, let's see. But let me ask you a question. Let me give you this answer though, and it's about to sound so crazy, dog. Jonas is a great rebounder, right? But it feels like when he rebounds, the team suffers or the team cannot overcome the other team rebounding. I watched Kevon Looney out-rebound an entire team. It just made it was crazy the difference his energy made. And bro, you talk about Chris, Justin, we talked about, we've done shows, watching film reviews. We've talked about guys' motor. That dude was relentless on the glass.
Because you can't teach that. It's impossible to teach motor. You want to get the rebound or you don't, man. Like that's like one of the intent. Like you can't coach that. No, I think it's an interesting, definitely an interesting player in Kevon Looney. I really would like to see him in a Pelicans uniform. We'll see what happens. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on Kevon Looney if the Pelicans should go after him if he's made available. We'll see y'all later.